Welcome to my little slice of desert paradise, which is actually getting quite cold now since I think I would officially say that winter is here. About a year ago, I bought this 40 acres of raw land, and this has been a journey, to say the least. Since then, I have been endlessly learning and working hard with my hands, living off-grid, creating everything here basically from scratch. But all of this is right up my alley, because if there's anything you should know about me, it's that I love a good challenge. Well, there has been a little bit of a development lately. But first, good morning. I was reported. I wasn't going to share this, but my goal here is just to be real and share life, and this is a part of it. So yeah, I was reported. This hit me totally by surprise, and it has felt very heavy, but I got a long, scary letter from the county. There had been a complaint from a neighbor. The day that I got the letter, I was so shocked, so filled with anxiety. I'm not the kind of person that likes to be in trouble. I'm not intentionally doing things wrong ever. And if I make a mistake or when I make a mistake, I do everything I can to fix it. So they reported me for not having septic. To me, this is very counterintuitive because I cannot use septic. I have no structure here, no house, no plumbing. It just has to be in the ground. You have to have a septic system even if you're not using it. Now, a septic system it's very expensive. So this was not on my financial bingo card for this year. I am incredibly grateful that I am very good with my finances, and I always have a emergency fund set aside in a high yield savings account. And I learned that the hard way with this little girl. Really, the emergency fund was created in the case that Akila continues to ingest things that she should not. I need to sip up my coffee before I continue. The day that I got the letter, I was like, well, I have to do something. I have to move forward. Otherwise, my anxiety was going to destroy me. I have a friend in the area. His name is Greg. And I knew that he was working with a septic person that he spoke super highly of. I immediately texted Greg and I was like, hey, I need some help. Can I have the number of the septic guy that you used? And I decided to give that number a call. It was like Saturday at like 5 p.m. and the kindest man picked up the phone. And we talked through what was going on, and he just came to the rescue. And he said, on that Monday, I'll come to the property and we'll get things figured out. Now, I'm speaking county specific. The way I understand it is kind of as long as you're moving towards these things, then you're good. But for me, if there's any, if I feel like I'm in the wrong at all, or like if there's something that I'm needing to accomplish and just like taking my time, I can't do that. That's just not how I roll. I was in an anxious frenzy for these first few days, so I didn't pick up the camera at all. In just 1 week, Chris, the septic guy, had a plan drawn up, and I submitted that to the county. They told me that I had 6 months to finish the septic. Now, number one, I'm really anxious about this. I don't like knowing that somebody went out of their way to report me. I also am not here full time. I bounce in and out of here often, and I would like to leave soon for the holidays. So rather than 6 months, I am dedicated to pausing literally everything and just getting it 100% completely done so I never have to think about this again. And from what I understand, which is all very confusing, if you are looking at purchasing raw land, there are so many things that you have to learn, and this thing has to come before this thing, but before you do this thing, you have to go and do this thing, and this paperwork, and then that fee, and then this has to be transferred over to this thing. There's so much that happens for you even to be like able to be on your property often. My thought is, if I can not take my time, if I can get this done as soon as I possibly can, if I'm just busting my butt to get it done, I believe that this opens up other things for me to complete. Therefore, this person would have nothing to report me on, I think. A few quick things to mention. I don't have a name here. I have not been a part of this community. I'm an outsider that came into a rural area, and that is not often a super smooth transition. Number 2, I live in a van. There are a lot of people that really dislike people who live in vehicles. It doesn't look nice, and people have preconceived notions about the types of people living in vehicles, and so, you know, people driving by, if they see me back here in a van, living outside, that's often, there's a lot of judgment associated with that. I think that those are just important things to remember when you're making decisions about land. And I'm so incredibly lucky to have chosen a place where I am quite close to a community of people that I absolutely love and adore, and there are people here that I don't know and may never meet, and they are probably watching what I'm doing. So I'm doing my best that I can with what I know, and bottom line, even if it's a bit ridiculous, bottom line is that I am in the wrong for not having a septic system in the ground, and that is something that I'm going to fix immediately. Today's a big day. I just got off the phone with, I think this is frozen. I just got off the phone with the guy from town, and he is bringing the excavator out. This was absolutely perfect timing because the week that I went in about 2 days ago, he said that this is the last week that they're renting excavators out. Otherwise, people will use them to dig up like ice or frozen machinery, and then it ruins their machines. So I got this machine in the nick of time. Also, Chris is coming out today. Chris is the guy that has been coming out to do soil tests and digging, and he created my septic plan. Chris and I are working on this together over the next few days, and then I'll officially have septic. Oh my gosh. Well, I have less than an hour before he comes. Alright, I haven't received a call that he's here yet. I got my workout done. So I'm going to give you a little overview of what is going on. I am putting in septic. Now, you might be thinking that doesn't make any sense because you don't have a house, so you won't be able to use septic, and you don't even know where your house is going. And that is true. Regardless of that, I'm fairly certain that where my van has been parked is where I will eventually build the house. What's beautiful about this is I have amazing soil, which is much cheaper. Still not cheap. So there were a few large holes dug. Actually, James came out and dug them for me because that saved me a few $100s. Thank you, James. You are the best. So that Chris could look at it and note the topsoil, how much topsoil, what it's made of, if there's a lot of clay under there, if there's bedrock or large rocks. And it turns out I have beautiful ground for a leach field, and a lot of people in this area have trouble because there is so much rock, so much bedrock, or a lot of clay, and so it can't leach properly. Not here. I picked the perfect spot. I should probably walk up there just in case. I also absolutely love Chris. Like, I feel like me and him and his wife have just created a beautiful friendship. All this stuff, you have opportunity to make these beautiful connections, and I'm really grateful that I've connected with him. I'm gonna walk up on the ridge and wait for the guy because I don't want him waiting on me. And then I need to learn how to drive an excavator. I can imagine it's like the same as a tractor, right? In case you were wondering, I have never driven a mini excavator before. But this is your reminder that most things are not as complicated as you may think they are, which means that you are a lot more capable of doing things or figuring things out than you probably think you are. And I'm the type of person where if there is a skill that is to be learned, then I am going to learn it. Hey Chris, how are you? I'm good. I'm just riding around the little Kubota. Yeah. I'm taking a little break to walk Aquila. I'm really practicing doing all the things that feel good to me, like going for long walks and moving, and obviously time outside through all of this. I do want to take a quick minute to thank the sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp, which I am so grateful for. My lifestyle certainly has its high highs and some pretty low lows. I've been living solely in my van now for 4 years, and whether it's life on the road or getting my septic installed in the nick of time, backpacking through Peru, or living off-grid in the winter time, there have certainly been moments where my mental health has taken a toll. And I want to remind everybody watching this that most of what you see on here, most of what you see on social media, they are highlight reels. And this is one of the reasons why I'm so drawn to talking about BetterHelp, because I want everybody to know that it's not abnormal to struggle, it's not abnormal to have difficult emotional times in your life, and that you are absolutely not alone in that, regardless of what you see on here. And that is why I love what BetterHelp is doing, making therapy so accessible to people through video calls and messaging and providing it all online. Because I promise you, nobody has it all figured out. And even when I'm like riding a really high in life, I still find so much value in therapy. BetterHelp connects you with a therapist and is trained to give you helpful and unbiased advice. And you can just go to their website to do this. You can use my link, betterhelp.com/Linnea, and then you fill out a questionnaire, and in just a few days you'll be matched with your very own therapist. And the best part, I think, is that if you need or want a different therapist, you can do that easily with just a tap of a button. Online therapy is extremely convenient, and I am proud to say that I've been doing therapy consistently now for over 2 years from wherever my van is parked. So if you think that you would benefit from a therapy session, you can use the link in the description below or go to betterhelp.com/Linnea and enjoy 10% off of your first month with BetterHelp. All right, the very first task on our list was to get the septic tank installed. Chris walked me through the basics of operating the machine and then suggested that I watch him dig this hole so I can understand kind of how the bucket moves and basically how many movements you have to do at one time in order to create that scooping motion. He is cleaning out the hole, like making it square, making sure that it's really level on the bottom, because that is important to put the tank in. And I am gonna be making a bacon and wild rice soup for him, and I'm really excited about it. Well, the first hole is dug. So this is what it looks like to dig a hole for a septic tank. So by the evening of this first day, Chris and I worked together. Really, it was me helping Chris set the septic tank, which was our goal. Okay, Chris just left. All of the materials are here. The tank is in the ground right here with trenches down the hill at a right angle. And tomorrow I am digging the leach field, which is about 37 feet by 13 feet. And I'm really excited about it. I'm mostly just excited that it's happening and we're doing it so quickly. I get to do parts of it, learn along the way. Once I'm done with the field, Chris and I are going to put everything together, which will be cool. I really enjoy knowing how things work. The sun is officially down. The soup was delicious. It is getting very cold very quickly. I guess that's that for today. My plan is to start digging bright and early tomorrow morning. Good morning. I got hot coffee and the sun is out and it's time for me to dig.
You are my best friend, chill as the weekend. My all the time, ordinary crime, always my last kiss. Tastes like red liquor. Just love the birds and bees. Oh, looky, lucky me, singing. Made you a mixtape, walked you home real, and I did it every day till you wanted me to stay. And this song is folky and a little hokey. Here's the simple truth: in 100 years, I still love you, still singing.
Oh, this is looking so good. I think I'm doing really good. I think that this, by far, is my absolute favorite thing I've done so far on the property. I had no idea how fun this was. I feel like I'm an adult playing in an adult-sized sandbox. Like, it's just so fun. That was a really good one. I think it's time for, maybe I should clear this out. I've decided that this is what I want for Christmas. So if anybody out there has an extra, 60 grand laying around, you can get me this little Kubota. And I will have the greatest time doing things like this. I think it's gonna take me a long time, but I'm trying to make this as perfect as possible and as level as possible because I really want the septic guy to be proud of me when he comes tomorrow. It's gonna be perfect. Whee! Oh yeah, this is gonna be a tough one. Okay. I'm really figuring out how to get nice, level. Oh my gosh. I think I'm gonna start my own business. I do have a lot of respect for people that do this. Watching Chris work this machine, it's very impressive. Looks like he's been doing it for a lot of years, which obviously he has.
She was a good companion, eyes like the Grand Canyon. She was an American beauty. She was a long goodbye. She was the best I lived by. She was an American beauty. With her wafers on in the summer sun, her touch felt like a loaded gun. Wish I had held her longer. Wish I had held her longer. Gorgeous vagabond, she was sweet but she was strong. She was an American beauty. She was deja vu, she was a catch-22. She was an American beauty. Her blue eyes shined in the summer sun. Her kiss felt like a low.
Akila keeps running up and down the channels.
Wish I
It's really cute. Well, I just stopped for a late lunch. It is 3:20 and it's almost done. I have one little section left, and then the septic guy said that what he would do is ramp the end of it so that I can get the machine in and kind of like level it all out. Although, I don't know, I may have gone just a tad deep on the short side. I think I did it all right. I need to get this, actually it's, let's see, right here is about here. Not that bad, truly. This side I think might be a tad bit deep, but maybe not, because all of this is Now, the really big day was the day when Chris and I put the entire septic system together. And out of respect for Chris, I didn't want to take any time out of his day to film. I also really hate making people uncomfortable on camera, so often I just bypass it completely. This day was by far my favorite day because I loved working really closely with Chris. I loved helping him do anything that he needed to be done, and overall just learning about every little piece of the septic system, how everything fits together, and I learned that it's actually quite simple. All right, it's done. It's done, oh my gosh. It's probably close to 5, it's really cold tonight. Chris just left. It's done, like it's crazy. I took almost no footage because my goal was just to help in any way that I could. So helping lay everything out and grab materials and move dirt. So this is what my septic system looks like. This is the leach field and this is the manifold. Chris built this manifold. It's perfectly level. He did a fantastic job. This is the septic tank. So the front part is about 750 gallons and the second part is about 250 gallons. These will be ground level, and then you've got the pipe and a 90-degree angle into the leach field. And then here, this is in the case that I need to pump it out. And then the spot with the duct tape, that will eventually be connected to the house plumbing far, far into the future. It's so cold I can barely hold my camera, so I'm just gonna put you on the Capota. My heart is just like bursting with gratitude. I hugged him twice before he left because people like him make life so wonderful. He taught me so much about this. I also find like so much respect in people who trust me to do the work well. He was really proud of the work that I did on the leach field. He didn't have to fix a whole lot. He made it a little bit longer and like smoothed it out a bit. I told him that I am happy to backfill the entire thing by myself. I wanted him to go home and go back to his family, and yeah, so that's the next big thing. I need to backfill all of this, and there's a few things that I need to be really careful of, but I know that I can do it and I feel really comfortable using this machine. And I know it's going to take me longer than it would have taken Chris, but that's okay. I'm happy to do the work. Yeah, it's amazing. The amount of weight that is off my shoulders right now, like when it comes to raw land, a well and septic, those are two huge pieces when doing raw land. I don't know if every county requires septic, but I would assume so. And now it's just done. Like, it's just done. Like, I never have to do this again. But interestingly enough, I would do this again. This was kind of a fun project. But on the other hand, the well, never want to do that again. Absolutely not. I forgot to mention one very important step of all of this is the inspection. So I'm not backfilling quite yet because an inspection needs to happen. Basically, an inspection is when an inspector comes out, takes a look at everything, makes sure everything is like to regulation, and then he says, cool, it's good. And then I get the okay to cover it all up. But it is cold, and I'm gonna go ahead and contact the county and move forward. Wow, this is crazy. I'm so grateful. I gave this a few hours this morning just to make sure that things weren't frozen, and I think I'm ready to backfill. This I have to be really careful of. Oh my gosh, do I have my... Thought I lost my screws for these covers, but I got them right here. Okay, this I just want to be really careful of because I don't want any of these to shift. So I guess, I don't know, maybe I'll just go around. I'm just gonna go around and place some here. Yeah, right there. Actually. This big job to backfill everything definitely took me way longer than it would have taken Chris. But at the end of the day, Chris and his wife drove out to check in on me. And he wanted to jump in the machine and kind of show me some more tricks and help me fill the big leach field. And everything that he taught me at this point definitely helped me level out the rest of the field that evening after they left. What? Hi, I'm all done. Oh my god, I'm done. Good job. What are you doing? I'm done. My septic is done. Oh my gosh. I never have to do that ever again in my entire life. So from start to finish, this project was done in 2 weeks. I would have never been able to do this as smoothly or quickly without Chris and his kind heart and his expertise and his willingness to teach me along the way. My septic is done. I made some wonderful friends along the way, and I am so grateful that this is over.